Welcome back to Bao News Network. We are putting together a Bao headline news report. We are actually tracking some extreme weather in the region of Jamaica at this particular time, and the island nation is actually being hammered by Tropical Storm Grace, which is packing 50-mile-per-hour winds. The pressure at this particular time is 1,005 millibars, and it's moving directly west at 15 miles per an hour. We anticipate that it's going to be bringing tremendous amount of rainfall as well as tropical force winds, and it's going to contribute to a significant amount of flooding as well as mudslides and all of the other ramifications that are going to impact the citizens of Jamaica. We can actually take a closer look at this system from our GOS 16 satellite imagery, and we definitely see as it exits the region of Haiti, the island Hispaniola, where it created a significant amount of damage with flooding as well as down power lines and pretty heavy images that are coming out of DR as well as Haiti at this time. And of course, the storm complicated and hindered the rescue efforts of survivors of the earthquake just a few days ago, 7.2 on the scale for the earthquake. So our hearts are going out to Haiti, and our hearts and prayers are going out to the people of Jamaica who are actually being impacted by Tropical Storm Grace at this time. We can clearly see a pattern here where it's going to actually be going all the way across the entire island, and it's the most severe winds are going to be on the north and the northeast side of the storm. So with that said, even though there's not a clear defined eye wall, but we do see a distinct pattern of circulation. And being that it's actually over the island, then the north coast, most likely along the regions of St. Anne all the way up to Trelawney to St. James, is probably going to receive the brunt of the more severe heavy winds and rainfall. But that's not to say that the southern coast of Jamaica will not also feel it in the region of Mandeville, Spanish Town, and Kingston. But we'll continue to pay attention to what's actually coming across the news media as far as the reports of damage and flooding in the region. With that said, once it exits Jamaica, then it's going to set its eyes on the Cayman Islands. And based on the projections right now, we can clearly see that this system is possibly going to be upgraded to a Category 1 hurricane. Hence, we see the watch there for possible hurricane watch in effect for along the Yucatan Peninsula. As it goes over land near the Yucatan Peninsula, there's a good chance that it will disorganize quite a bit, but it will reintegrate once it enters the Gulf of Mexico, where the sea surface temperatures are around 83 to 84 degrees, more than ample enough energy, less sharing that will prevent it from forming once again and integrating back into a formidable Category 1 hurricane before it impacts Mexico. So this system is going to have a tremendous impact not only on the people of the Caribbean. It's already lashing out, continuing to lash out with significant rain in Haiti, even while it's over the island of Jamaica at this particular time. And then it's going to set its eyes on the Grand Cayman in the early morning on Wednesday. So the Cayman Islands should be preparing for a significant amount of rain, possibly flooding, tropical storm force winds as this system makes its way. Now the system is wide enough that watches have been put into effect along the south coast of Cuba also, and they're going to actually receive quite a bit of rainfall simply from the outer squalls of the tropical storm, soon to be possibly upgraded to Hurricane Grace as it moves into the Caribbean, further into the Caribbean Sea. So a lot remains to be seen as far as how it's going to impact not only the Grand Cayman Islands but also Cuba, continuing to impact Jamaica, even while it's in the region of the Caymans. Jamaica will continue to be plagued by heavy rainfall even while it pushes off, simply because of the size of this storm. We can clearly see it on the satellite imagery, just how wide it's actually impacting. We can see that even while it's actually impacting Jamaica, the east coast of Jamaica, it's still well defined over the region of Haiti and impacting actually where the earthquake was centered in the southern region of Haiti. So this system is just creating a lot of um, horrible situations and circumstances in the Caribbean at this time. And our hearts and prayers go out to the people of Haiti and Jamaica, and also the Grand Cayman Islands residents, as they prepare for this storm to be impacting them very, very shortly. As we know, the tropical storm Fred actually moved into inland. So here we are at about 3 a.m. today, and this was a system moving in early in the morning, and there's quite a bit of area that was sectioned off for tornado advisory. You can see here for Macon, Georgia, there was a tornado advisory, significant convection in that region with tropical depression Fred moving inland, and we anticipated that it would actually move along the border of Alabama and Georgia, which it did. But being that it's quite an expansive system, it created a lot of different scenarios where we saw local spotter reports of tornadoes touching down just south of Newnan and just west of Griffin in Georgia. So we're continuing to monitor this system, but this is our advisory as of early morning. And then when we take a look at it, actually, as it is now, close to midday, we do see a flash flood warnings in the region of Atlanta as well as Athens. We do see some funnel cloud local spotter reports touching down, and quite a few sections of well-defined tornado advisories based on the Doppler radar for the system moving in. When we looked at the 1 hour rainfall uh, quote for the Doppler radar, we were seeing various areas within the depression producing rainfall to the tune of 1.75 to 2 inches per an hour of rainfall. So this is going to be really inundating the area with a lot of rainfall, also severe winds. And keep in mind that the Doppler radar does detect rotation, and we do have local spotters on the ground who are actually spotting funnel clouds, which you can align with seeing those tornado advisories. You can see that tornado advisory just to the west of Greenville, and now the system is actually going to be impacting the region of Tennessee and moving further into the north, into Tennessee and the Carolinas. So we do see some flash flood advisories in Atlanta as well as Athens. Significant thunderstorm activity in the region of Rome and Dalton, and it's going to start impacting eastern Tennessee in the region of Knoxville and Chattanooga very shortly, and as far as bringing severe weather into that region. But we'll continue to monitor the tropics, especially with respect to the tropical storm Grace as it makes its way through the region. We'll continue to monitor the area as far as what's actually happening with tropical storm Grace as it makes its way past Jamaica, and also impacting the Cayman Islands, and eventually going to be impacting the Yucatan, Cancun. Cancun will be possibly facing hurricane force winds, Category 1, well-defined Category 1 hurricane winds, hurricane force winds, and rainfall, and other effects, possibly even water spouts forming off the coast of Mexico as the system moves inland towards Mexico after thrashing the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Haiti, and Dominican Republic. As far as Tropical Storm Henri, which is just south of Bermuda at this time, the winds are 50 miles per an hour and the pressure is 1004 millibars, and it is moving west southwest at 6 miles an hour. 6 miles per an hour. At this particular time, it does appear that the system will be pulling away from the island of Bermuda, moving out into open water, heading with a path heading northeast along the Atlantic coast, parallel to the Atlantic coast. So we don't anticipating it having an impact on the residents and citizens of Bermuda. But we do see that Tropical Storm Grace is impacting Caribbean on a massive scale, as it makes its way possibly to be upgraded as a hurricane in the region of Mexico. So we'll continue to monitor here at Bound News Network the track of Tropical Storm Grace, soon to be Hurricane Grace, possibly upgraded by the National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center, and we will continue to monitor this system as it makes its way through. Please, definitely, if you happen to be in the path of this storm, please prepare at this particular time for significant rainfalls, tropical force winds, and possibly even hail, and possibly even touchdown of tornadoes within the local vicinity as this system makes its way through your locality. It should be noted also that even though it's not a hurricane at this particular time, based on the images coming out of Dominican Republic and Haiti, and some preliminary reports from Jamaica, that this system the gusts are up to 50 miles per an hour or higher, but maximum sustained winds at this particular time are about 50 miles per an hour. So definitely this is a very strong tropical storm with a very, very significant potential for significant flooding in the region. So thank you for watching Bound News Network, and we do appreciate all of our subscribers tuning in. And please make sure that you smash that like button, and also go ahead and hit that notification bell for future updates for our next live stream as far as tracking Tropical Storm Grace, Tropical Depression Fred as it makes its way deeper inland into the region of Tennessee and the Carolinas, as well as any future updates pertaining to Tropical Storm Henri in the Atlantic just south of Bermuda. So have a wonderful day, and thank you for tuning in to Bow News Network, and always remember to bow to the weather, and thank you so much.